All right, everybody. So hey, on this video, what I want to talk about is mulch. Why is mulch important? Why do people mulch? What makes up the different mulches? Sneaking bugs. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Mulching can be very important both to the garden and to your flower bed. It adds a layer of insulation to the soil. So in the summertime, when you've mulched your garden, let's just use the garden as an example. That layer of mulch keeps the moisture down in your soil, so it keeps your soil from drying out. That's obviously very important, less watering. It also helps deter weeds, so you don't want a lot of weeds in your garden. Same with your flower beds. The same principle works for both the flower beds and your vegetables and your vegetable gardens, but you're going to use different mulches in different places because there are different mulches. So the important thing about mulching is to remember that when you're going to mulch in the vegetable garden, you want to use the right kind of mulch. Now there's cedar mulch, there's pine mulch, there's hardwood mulch, there's dyed mulches, there's all these different kind of mulches. For a flower bed, you can use one thing. For your vegetable gardens, you want to use something that is non-chemical. You want to use something that doesn't have chemicals in it. You want to be as natural as possible in your gardens. I mean, obviously. So what I use when I do mulch in the gardens, which I haven't done very often, I'll be completely honest. In the spring I mulched once, and that was it. Now this coming year I'm going to do a lot more mulching because I used a lot of water this year. And I want to see if there's a difference between this year's consumption and next year's. So we'll see. So when you're mulching your vegetable garden, you want to mulch things that are going to be there a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mulch the garlic. Like I said in the garlic video, which I'll put in the link down below, this is a plant and forget. This is staying in here until May, June, somewhere in that range. So there's no reason not to mulch the garlic. And I'm going to use just a basic natural hardwood mulch, no dyes, no chemicals, nothing's in it, just a hardwood mulch. That's gone through a grinder twice to make it what they consider a finely shredded hardwood. And what that will do over time is as it breaks down, it will add nutrients into the soil. Remember, you're always wanting to amend your soil, keep adding nutrients and stuff to it to make everything grow better. So that's what I'm going to do right here. We're going to mulch the garlic. Okay, so again, for back here, I'm going to use just a natural hardwood mulch. What you want is hardwood. You want to see the hardwood. If it's dyed, it'll say like black or red or whatever. You want just a natural hardwood. There's no chemicals added to this mulch right here. And that's what I want on my vegetables. No chemicals. And just like that, we're done. This mulch is about 1 inch thick. And again, it's just a natural brown hardwood mulch, no chemicals added to it. And again, what this is going to do is I've got irrigation lines running underneath, and I'm going to add another spray system in here in another video when I do more updates on the garden. And what this will do will keep the moisture in the soil down around these bulbs. It will help deter weeds from growing up, and it will help deter pests from being in here. So that's it for back here. So I did want to say one more thing about mulching your vegetable gardens or any vegetable that you're going to have sitting for a long time. You can use anything you want to use. I've seen people use rice hulls, leaves, grass clippings, just pretty much anything you can think of. I've seen people use. But for me, what I know works and what I feel comfortable adding to my vegetable gardens or my flower beds for that matter is a mulch, like a mulch, like mulch. Now I don't know if you can see, let me bring it in here. All these little fine pieces that are in here, this just breaks down and goes into your soil as you water. All that little nutrients, all those little nutrients just go in and benefit your soil. That's why I like this kind of a mulch. I'm not knocking any of the other ones, but this works for me. Yeah, just remember you do not want anything dyed to go into your vegetable gardens. Flower beds are different. I mean, you're not eating stuff out of a flower bed normally, but you are eating stuff out of your vegetable gardens. So for me, I'm not adding anything dyed at all to any in my vegetable gardens, raised beds, none of that. And you can use mulch on your raised beds too, which I'll do in that raised bed over there where the other garlic is as soon as I'm done right here. Let's go back to the front and finish mulching the front flower beds. And I'm going to use a different kind of mulch up there, and I'll explain why here in a minute. So now that we're back up front, I'm going to use a different mulch up here in the front. I'm going to use a cedar mulch. Cedar mulch. What this mulch does that the other one doesn't do is it helps deter bugs, because cedar has that oil in it that naturally repels insects. But I don't want all the insects in the vegetable garden to be deterred. I want the beneficial ones to come in. That's why I'm using the hardwood mulch in the vegetable garden, and I'm going to use the cedar mulch up in the front flower beds. One, I just like how it looks, and two, it helps deter insects. So that's why I use this mulch up front as opposed to in the vegetable garden. So what I need to do now is just get this all laid out and knock it out. Laid out, cut them open, spread them, and be done with this. One thing I did want to say is when you're getting mulch, you can get it two ways. I'm sure y'all have seen them in Lowe's or Home Depot, these bags, which is easier and more convenient to moving around, but they do cost more than if you got it ordered in bulk. But then again, in bulk, you've got a big pile of it being dumped on your bed or on your driveway or wherever from a dump truck, and you kind of need to get to it pretty quickly in that direction if you do it that way. So for me, I just use these bags. It's just easier to move around it. Like I said, it does cost a little bit more because you are paying that extra fee for them to bag it out wherever they bag the material at. So just keep that in mind if you're ordering mulch or soils or anything from any kind of a place that sells them. That is part of the fee, what you're doing. So it's getting kind of loud up here in the front. It is almost Thanksgiving, so we got lots of construction and people putting up lights and stuff all over the place. So I'm going to end this video today, and then I'll start it back up again tomorrow or the next day. All right, so this will be a multiple day video for this one. All right. Hey, all right, so it's a couple days after Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had a great holiday. I know I did, had a blast, and now it's time to get back to finishing this video from the other day. Up here in the front, we're gonna do cedar, but I'm not doing the cedar. I'm not gonna mulch everything right now. I just wanna show you what I do, and then when it gets a little better weather, when the weather gets a little better, then I'll go ahead and knock out the rest of my flower bed. But I wanna just explain how I do my mulch up front here. Now, like I said, you wanna mulch twice a year. However you wanna do it is up to you, but I do one in the spring and once in the fall. Now in the fall, I don't take away the old mulch. The reason for that is I want as much insulation on my flower beds to protect my plants as possible. So the thicker you have your mulch, the warmer your roots will be. Now in the spring, I take everything out completely, take all the mulch out, get rid of it, and put brand new mulch in. Main reason for that are termites. When I moved in here, I ended up with termites that found the old mulch in the spring and went down and started their colony. So I eradicated all that, got rid of it, but I was told in the springtime when the insects are coming out of dormancy and they're doing their thing, old mulch is basically like a buffet to termites. So it's not that the mulch gave me termites, it's the fact that the mulch was old and the termites found a buffet and went ahead and got all they could eat. So wintertime, I don't remove the mulch. Springtime, I get rid of all of it and start all over. And then plus in the springtime, I will add new soil at the base of all my plants, just as that extra beneficial nutrition boost to the flowers. So I'll show y'all what I do here. And hey, that's it right there. One bag took about a minute. Just spread it in really good. You want to get it around the base of your plants in order to protect them when the weather gets really cold. Now, of course, I'm in Houston area. It's not really that cold, but at the same time, these plants aren't used to super cold weather. So the more protection you can give them, the better. Earlier this year, I think it was February, the Houston area got a record freeze that hit us. Killed a lot of my stuff. Killed, I mean, a lot of my plants. So this year, I'm definitely going to do a heavy layer of mulch around everything, just to give everything that added protection as best I can. So, but hey, that's mulching. Mulching in the front yard, mulching in your flower beds. Remember, different mulches for different uses. So hey everybody, if y'all enjoyed this video and learned anything from it, please share it. Subscribe to the channel. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram, Down Home Backyard Gardening. And as always, shine bright and harvest hard. Bye. What this mulch does, there's no reason not to mulch the vegetable. All right, so now that we're back up front, I'm going to use a different mulch because it's part of the fall. Man, I can't do this. Lord have mercy, man. All right, everybody. So what I want to do is mulch the. And that's what you get when you film in suburbia.